my. All right. What's going on, Scootopians? This is Old Man Dan here. Welcome to Scootopia. Today, today we're going to be doing a final facts ovation rating on the Kaabo Wolf King. This baby here. So we'll be going through it, and I'll be talking to you all about all of the tests and all of the things that I've done. What I've been doing for the last month is taking the King out, doing various tests, the dead stop brake test, the top speed test, the maximum range, minimum range, suspension, and durability, and so today is the day that we actually give the final facts ovation on the Kaabo Wolf King. How many O's does Old Man Dan give the Kaabo Wolf King? All right. The 2021 Kaabo Wolf King, of course, we know, sports this impressive gold finish. It also has maintained its world-renowned framing, the aluminum tube framing throughout that causes this scooter to have its rigidity, being able to be so rigid and be so firm and so durable out there when people take it off-road. I think that's why it's become scooter's favorite off-road scooter. The Wolf Warrior, which we have back here, has been the one that has proven this aluminum framing, which is supposed to be forged under, I think, like 1,600 tons of pressure. Go figure on that. That's incredible. But there are some pros and there are some cons. There are some things that I like, some things that I don't like. But overall, we're going to grade this Kaabo Wolf King under my 5 industry standard rating marks. All right. And it kind of falls under today's current industry standards as well. Performance, value, safety, build, and service. We'll go through it and let you know where this thing stands. First of all, I want to kind of start off by talking about some of the features of this Kaabo Wolf King. Of course, we know that the Kaabo Wolf King is kind of forks out a nominal power of 1,500 watts per motor, and it's dual motor. The brushless direct current motors are dual at 1,500 front and back. All right. It has a combined high output of 6,720 watts of maximum power, which gets a person supposed to, according to the manufacturer specs, about over 60 miles an hour. They say 60 to 65 miles an hour. Everybody that knows Old Man Dan knows in the scooter world that my preference on electric scooters is dual or wider stems, the dual pole stems or wider stems, because they're built a little more solid. They're able to handle the unsmooth terrains, and they're able to handle speed better than your single pole stems. So of course this Kaabo King comes with the dual pole stems, which I really like. It also sports the 72 volt 40 amp mini motor controllers, which I think was very smart of them. It has the 72 volt 28 amp hour battery, which is the LG MJ1 or Samsung 35E. At one point, man, they had me thinking that it was a hybrid of sort, but it's not a hybrid battery. It's not a mixture of both. It's one or the other. And so this particular one, mine is the LG MJ1, 28 amp volt. Some people may get the Samsung 35E. All right. It also has 11 by 4 inch tubeless pneumatic tires. It comes with the Zoom brake system. Actually, it's an improved brake system, and I've noticed the difference when I did the dead stop brake test. I was able to stop this baby within 5 feet at 15 miles per hour. And it's due in part to the improvements they made to the brakes. You now have a 160 millimeter rotor. It's 3 centimeters thick, the rotor, and both of those things allow you to get, and of course, it has the hose in it, but it allows you to get cooler braking and more firmer braking. So that braking, I definitely felt the difference when I did the dead stop brake test at 5 feet. All right. It also has hydraulic motorcycle grade front fork shocks. The shock absorbers are hydraulic motorcycle grade. And then it has spring shocks in the rear. All right. Has a 9-inch wide deck, 20 inches long, 8 inches from the ground. Okay. The deck comes with deck lighting that I'm not too impressed with. The deck lighting is not that good. So you won't count on that deck lighting. It has front deck lighting, and it has the rear brake light, and then it has the blue side deck lighting and the ground blue deck lighting. The blue side and ground deck lighting is pretty cool. You can see, so it does offer visibility. The rear brake light, oh my God, it's dismal. You will need to add another brake light. I wear a brake light on my helmet, and I'm going to add one to this scooter as well. I'm still not finished with my mods, but you can see they're coming together. Still got a lot of work to do. Got to wire everything in, got to do my harness, got to do the bag that's going to hold all my battery and power pack. But it's coming along. You see where I'm going though with it. Let me know in comments how you feel about the mod so far. The fenders, I'm not too impressed about the fenders. The front fender is, it's on firm right now, but that's still kind of a little flimsy. The back is not long enough, so you will still get mud on your clothing. All right. What else do I want to talk about on this thing here? The mini motor eye display, which was a very good choice. Got the mini motor eye display. You have 25-inch wide handlebars. Okay, the handlebars adds 4 inches to the height of the stem. So you got from deck to handlebars, you have 38 inches, and from floor or ground to the handlebars, you have 50 inches. Okay, this scooter, when folded, becomes 5 feet long. That's it makes it very difficult to transport. Although I've found actually this has become the easiest scooter for me to transport. And so when I'm going on rides, it just makes me want to take this one because it's easier for me to transport. And a lot of people are not able to say that, but if you have an SUV, and I use one of my SUVs to transport this vehicle, and in that SUV, when I fold it down, I'm able to put it like cat a corner, like kind of cross the back storage area. So right where the rear seat folds down, it comes over about 1.5 inches past that line where it folds down, right? So I put that back tire right there and the front tire right in the corner of the hatch and the right firewall of the vehicle. And I don't have to, like the other scooters, I have to strap them down. I put them on a platform and all of that. I have to put a ratchet, strap, so it's a lot of work, and it's discouraging. So this one, I just drop the bars down, put it up in there, close the thing up, and I'm rolling in 5 minutes. All right. These, I have to have a ramp You know, I can't lift this thing and put it up in there. So I have to have a ramp. This is a 140 pound. This one's 105 pounds. Still heavy. And maybe, you know, that's why portability is not a good suit on the Wolf King. The Wolf Warrior is heavy as well. It's 101 pounds. Okay. This, you'll be able to get a top speed on this one, supposed to be 60 to 65 miles an hour. Me, I'm 228 pounds. I've been able to take it up to 55 miles per an hour, kind of consistently as my top speed. And so, what else? It has a very unique stem locking mechanism. It's a 3-point locking mechanism. You have a safety pin, a safety lever, and a safety latch. And it has to be done properly in order for you not to get any wobble whatsoever. When it's done properly, this scooter stem is the most stable I've seen in the market, in the whole industry. You know, there are other, companies that are making better and better stem locking mechanisms, but this one by far, I must say, it has a very impressive stem locking mechanism. A little confusing for people in the beginning, but if you watch my video on operating the folding mechanism, you should be able to do it like me. I'm able to, you know, unlock and lock this thing in less than 10 seconds. All right, has a very robust kickstand. What else? The framing, I already talked about the framing. I think that's it. It weighs 105 pounds. Your load capacity is 330 pounds. All right. And so, has this, it comes with this light right here that's on the Wolf Warrior. But of course, you see, I changed mine to even a more powerful light. And so when I finish my mods is when I'll give out the links. So don't be asking me for the links and everything. I'll give you all the links and everything when I finish modding it. Okay? I don't want you to go mod yours before I mod mine. But I wanted, you know, people were like, man, when you coming out with the Ovation? So I had to go ahead and do this video so we can get this Final Facts Ovation done, even in the middle of me modding. I'm not going to do a whole lot. You know, I'm going to do the lights, turn signals, because of course this Wolf King, they failed to put turn signals on it, even though it was an improved version of the Warrior. So also, while I'm on that, they didn't put indicators on the switches. You know, you have the Eco Turbo and the single dual mode switch that doesn't have indicators on it. And sometimes when you're moving and fiddling around with your scooter, you can accidentally push that button and find your performance significantly decreased. And you won't know it until you get out there on the road. And so what I tell people, you know, before you take your scooter out, you know, you're supposed to do a pre-trip inspection anyway. So while you're doing the pre-trip inspection, checking all your screws and all of that stuff, take your scooter, should already be on a platform or a box or something, and just check your dual and your single mode. Check your eco. Make sure it's in the right mode before you even take it out the door. That'll save you a whole lot of that disappointment, embarrassment, and frustration. All right. When you take this scooter out of the box, it's imperative that you tighten and blue Loctite your screws, all your hex bolts, every one of them, I'm telling you, especially the ones that are part of your folding lock mechanism. I've been getting so many calls and complaints about people losing their safety lever because they didn't tighten the bolt in the back and put some blue Loctite on there. Put a bead of blue Loctite on it, tighten that bolt, tighten all your bolts. Just do it right out the box and you won't have any problems. Promise you that. You just got to do that. And then every 3 months or so, go through your bolts and check them. Make sure that they're still tight, you know. Sometimes some people put a little bead on it, but it's not enough and the bolt comes loose. All right. So you want to check all your hex bolts, especially on the Kaabo Wolf brand. the Wolf Warrior and the Wolf King. That I know for sure. Okay, so I think that's it. A lot of people, a lot of the numbers too, for these scooters, for all electric scooters pretty much, is really based around an average 165-pound rider. So anything that gets over that, all the numbers are going to change. And it's all relative to that number, your weight. The road conditions, weather, and all that other stuff still plays a role. And then, of course, all lithium ion batteries are definitely compromised in inclement weather, whether hot or cold. All right. So I guess now with all of that said, we can get ready to move on to what I give this Kaabo King. So, okay, Scootopians, are you ready to see Old Man Dan's final Ovation rating? This one gets an almost perfect 4 thumbs up ovation. Let me tell you why. Let's dig into it. I want to, well, I'll do the pros and cons last, but I'll do the Scootability, Scootenuity, Scootcation, Scootseek, and Scootfillment now. All right, so on this Kaabo Wolf King, on the Scootability, top speed, I gave it a 5, minimum range of 5, maximum range of 5, and hill climbing of 5. This scooter performed well on 30-degree grade, went up and gained momentum going up the 30-degree grade. Minimum range test, I got 23.5 miles. Maximum range test, I got 33.5 miles, and my top speed was 55 miles per hour. So all of those are good numbers for a 228-pound frame. All right, and the road conditions were good. And on Scootenuity, which is the value out of the box. The value out of the box on this scooter. And a lot of people would agree that right out of the box, this scooter, you don't see this happen much where you can pull a scooter out of the box and it compete with, some of these high performance scooters. To be able to pull it out of the box and it has, performance, the safety, the build, the appeal. Some of the improvements, it could be small because, like the switches, not putting turn signals, those kind of things are small, but significant to some riders. They still want to see those things. And so on the value, it scored pretty good. We got a 5 on performance, 4 on safety, 4.5 on build. The appeal was a 4. Okay. Then on Scootation, which is the safety, I think this is where this scooter scored the lowest on my scale. The things that I considered on the safety was the dead stop braking, the turn signals, the eye display, the lighting, the deck height and the grip of the deck and the size of the deck. These things can be safety issues while you out on the road. And then also portability. You can literally throw your back out with this thing if you grab it the wrong way. So on the dead stop brake test, I gave it a 5. Turn signals, a 1. Eye display, 5. On the lighting, a 3. Because the only lighting that is good on this scooter is the headlight that it comes with, which of course I've changed that already and I've added this, so but I'm a component of light. I believe in you never have too much light on your scooter in terms of the brightness, not the amount of lights. I've seen some Christmas trees out there, but in terms of the brightness and the illumination. Like me, I have these 2, but they'll light up, they'll light that road up, boy. My turn signals are even LED, and they have a real good brightness to them. And these 2 turn signals are also going to be on the rear. All right. So the lighting of 3, the deck height, which is 8 inches, is a good height for a scooter. You know, some people like theirs a little higher. I think a little higher is kind of pushing it, but you know, if you want to be able to go off curves and everything, I think probably a 9 and 9.5 inch will be perfect for that, where you won't bottom out on the curve. But on the deck height, I gave it 4.5. The size of the scooter's deck is a 3. It's dismal. I have a size 14 foot, and you know, 9 inches wide and 20 inches long is not enough for me. The grip, I like the grip. As a matter of fact, if I had to choose from a rubber decking and the grip tape, I would probably choose the rubber decking because, of course, my OCD is easier to clean. It's just easier to clean. That's the only thing. It's easier to clean. Um, the Skuzik, the build, which the switches, turn signals, brake lights, batteries, the screws, not too good. Switches, you know why I give that a 3. Turn signals, there are none. Gets a 1. It gets a 1 because, but it should be a 0. It should be a 0. Brake lights. I don't know if you really checked out these brake lights, especially in the daytime. You barely see it. You barely see it. You get a 2 on the brake lights. The battery, 28 amp hours. Come on, man. You just built a brand new scooter, 72 volts. The least you could have done is a 35 amp hour battery, Kaabo. At the least. It would have improved the range, and you would have got a little more torque out of it. I mean, it's just a 35 amp hour battery is what people have on 60 volt scooters now. So, you know, I know everybody wants to try and save money and cut costs and all of that, but when you're, you know, the consumer out here buying electric scooters now are just as advanced and becoming as advanced as you are with the advancement in the innovation of these scooters. And so you have to weigh it out and say who's more important, the consumer or the freaking saving $200. I think the consumer is, because the consumer will buy your product and will buy more and more when they know you're going to do the right thing. So I think you kind of blew it on that in terms of the amp hours on that battery. The screws is a 1. I mean, come on, man. We got to tighten those screws up in the factory, and they should be tight when we get them. When we get these scooters, and you have to literally go through every screw and bolt on the Kaabo Wolf because they're loose and because they will literally vibrate out on your first ride. I mean, I have people that's called me like, oh my God, I lost this screw, I lost that. Oh, this is loose. They just thought they can pull it out the box and ride. You know, all they thought they had to do is just attach their handlebar. So there are, I kudos to the scooters manufacturers and vendors out there who are doing their own scooters, who make sure that all the bolts are tight and go the extra step and blue Loctite them. But on the Kaabo, it's a problem, and I implore you to please check all your screws, all of them, even on your motors. All right. Service, which is the screw fulfillment. Service is the support, shipping, quality control, Q&A, phones, and problem resolution. I got this scooter and the Wolf Warrior. My first Wolf Warrior came from Fluid. This one came from Voro Motors. Voro Motors on support, 5. Shipping, 5. Quality control, 4. Q&A of 4. Phones, 5. And problem resolution, 4. And the only reason on some of these 4s is because sometimes they don't get a person right away. It's the only reason. And we all understand that Voro Motors is quite busy right now. I mean, they're really, really good in their service. So those are all the marks Now, let me tell you about the pros and cons. Of course, you've probably heard them in my marks that I was given in the Scootability, Scootanuity, Scootization, Scootzeek, and Scootfillment. But the pros for the Kaabo Wolf King, of course, the 72 volt battery capacity, not the amperage, but just the idea of it being 72 volts does help in the speed and some torque. The improved brakes is pro. The suspension, the hydraulic motorcycle grade suspension, shock absorbers is what I wanted to say. Man, this with the spring, the rear spring suspension is beautiful. It's beautiful, and I like mine stiffer because, of course, a lot of you all know I like to push it on the speed thing. The folding stem lock is a pro and somewhat a con, but it is a pro because it is the best folding stem lock in the industry when you do it properly. If you don't do it properly, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to hate it. You're going to, because it does take work. It does take work when you don't do it properly, when you don't know. Follow my video on the folding locking mechanism for this dual pole stem, and you'll be able to put this stem, drop this stem, and raise this stem, and lock it in place properly in less than 10 seconds. And you'll be able to do it every time. You'll probably notice me on rides, especially on Sundays. I've been bringing the King a lot. Why? It's easier to bring. I just drop it, bring it up, boom, put it back up fast. I'm rolling. The rest of them, I got to go through a whole lot to put that baby in, strap it down, secure it, make sure it don't move when I'm driving and all that stuff. This, I don't go through all that. So so a lot of you want to know, well, why you keep bringing the King? It's because it's easier. I want to bring another one, but then when I get, I'll be like, oh no, man, I don't feel like going through all that. All right. So the advanced eye display, the dual pole stem, the aluminum framing with that 1,600 tons of pressurized aluminum, that solid kickstand, the 11 by 4 inch tubeless pneumatic tires, and the braking system. It is, nobody can argue with those pros. The cons, no turn signals, no switch indicators, the battery's amperage, 28 amp hour, the loose screws, the portability. Those are all cons that I think could have been mitigated before they released it. Because it's just, to me, small things. The only thing that's not is the portability. But the turn signals, switch indicators, battery, loose screws, come on now. All right. So the overall Ovation rating for the Kaabo Wolf King 2021 Kaabo Wolf King is 4 O's. 4 O's. So old man Dan raced the Kaabo Wolf King 4 O's. All right. So that's it on our final facts Ovation rating. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, like my videos. Also tap that bell so you can stay up to date on all the latest trends, improvements, and news, and all my power scooter content. I'm Old Man Dan saying, I'm out. See you later.